Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Hustle Honeys. We are going to pick Fallon's brain today.
Oh my gosh, I'm nervous.
Nah.
Yeah.
If I did it, you can do it.
Okay.
You'll be great. So, we're going to dive right in. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and the business that you have?
Sure. So I have a marketing and business degree, college educated, which maybe we'll get into that at one podcast. That's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
But anyways, I went to school, got a marketing and business degree, and then I got my first job. I was selling ads, and then I've never really told anyone this, but my second job, I worked there for a couple months. I literally got fired from
For
the
what?
same time. I almost got fired. I quit before I got fired, but it's essentially the same company that I'm running right now. I was working for someone who had a similar company, so it's interesting.
Ah.
Yeah, and I literally worked there for a snapshot in time. But my real first marketing job was I worked at a tank company in Parsons, Kansas. And that's where I really got to understand marketing and like B2B style marketing. And then it was in Kansas and I was commuting at the time and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And my grandmother was failing in health. And if you know me, I was super close to my grandmother. And so I wanted to be home more. Mm-hmm. And so then my husband was working for a different guy and he was like, I know someone who might need some help with marketing. He owns a couple businesses in Joplin. And so I went and met with him and I started doing marketing for his companies. And then he really encouraged me to open my own agency.
That's awesome.
And so that's really how I got started. I don't know. I had to think if I didn't have him pushing me that I would have still done this, but I truly don't know. So
I bet you would have. It just may have been down the road.
It was just like the pressure and I guess it was just the push I needed.
Yeah.
And so I have a marketing agency and events company in Joplin, Missouri. We're really a little bit more marketing focused, but we do some events. And we have a large book of business, but really an interesting niche. It's actually not in tea, but that's not really our niche. But it's more in like aviation and roofing. That's the majority of our clientele.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, and then I really got into the e-commerce side of the business. And I love working with companies like that. And that's what we focus a lot on for Brad and Misty. Like that's how we met is through the business. But yeah, and then we also do some consulting, which my mom really heads up that side of the business. And that's how we got into doing the FDD and helping Brad and Misty franchise their company.
Yes.
And then it just evolved from there.
And Julie will make you do it.
Yeah, she will.
Make you.
Yeah, she's super smart. But yeah, we really focus like more on digital marketing. That's our like bigger focus and that's what we're really good at. And so that's what we do.
Any specific role models that influenced you on your decision?
This might like sound cliche, but I come from a family of like really hardworking women. Yeah. My mom had a big job in the insurance industry. Both of my grandmothers, like my grandma Hickman and her husband owned multiple businesses in the town that we're from, big farming family, always worked. Like my grandmother Eva, she never really worked, but she worked. Like she would kill her own chickens and that's how
I don't see how they do that.
That's how she was making dinner at night. That's worked around the house, worked at the farm. And then my sister was a pharmacist, which is not like an easy career. It takes a ton of education. So really, I feel like almost I had that feeling of, wow, I need to do something cool so I can be cool in my family. Or they might not like me. I don't know.
I love it. I have to live up to it.
But I feel like that's what pushed me. I can do this. I don't know. And my family definitely encouraged it for sure. So.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my sheet. I'm trying to find a hard question. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
Were there any specific challenges now or when you first started that you feel like you overcame?
I definitely feel like there are always challenges, especially in the marketing field, because things are always changing and evolving and like keeping up with all of, the latest XYZ can be a challenge in and of itself. And then, our book of business that we have developed so far can be pretty demanding. And so that's something I feel like I almost struggle with weekly, is just managing the employees and the clients and just keeping everything in like an onward projection. And I never dreamed that we would grow this fast. So it's just been a true whirlwind. I can't think of anything specifically that's been a super big.
When did y'all open? Athena?
Had a lot of learning lessons for sure.
Don't we all?
The events company technically was open before the marketing company, and then I decided that I was going to try to grow the marketing company and take on additional clients and hire additional staff to help me. But so I think our first official year of business was literally the year right before COVID. What year was that? 2018?
Yeah, 18 or 19. We opened in 2020.
I think we opened in 2019, I think.
That's crazy.
I know. So it's been I don't know. It's been crazy.
We both opened around the same time.
Yeah, around the same time.
I don't know why, but I thought you had been open so much longer.
No, I just look.
No. Maybe you act older than me. Maybe that's why. But
Probably.
look, no. You're like a
I'm
dang
joking.
Barbie.
Misty was scared of me when we first
Oh my gosh, I was so scared of her.
I'm so scary and intimidating for anyone listening. So watch out.
She really did intimidate me, like horribly. It was crazy. And now we're like,
Yeah.
insane.
Great friends.
Yeah. Okay, balancing work and personal life. How do you feel that you do with that?
I have to say I've gotten way better at that as time has gone on. I literally, when I first started, I was having tons of, not first started, because when I was first started, I didn't have anyone. When I first hired my first, what I would call my first set of employees, I was having a lot of personnel issues. And if I'm the kind of person that tells somebody, I'm going to do this and I'm going to have it done by XYZ, I am going to do it and I'm going to have it done. And so that meant a lot of times, like when my staff was failing, I was up all night or working all weekend to get project XYZ done. And honestly, that made me totally restructure my company a couple of years ago on how we did things. I used to be really bad at that, to where I didn't really feel like I even had a personal life unless it was going to an event, which 9 times out of 10, you go to these events for work. It looks fun. And I'm not saying it's not fun. I love to do it and support XYZ, but it's networking and it's to be seen and like support for the business. But I have gotten, I feel like, a lot better for that. I was actually talking to someone in my office last week, and I was like, I did this thing where I put my phone on sleep at 9:45 p.m. so I don't get any notifications.
Ooh.
Because I literally have some customers that will text me all hours of the night, like
Brad. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And I just feel like there's something in me that I'm like, I have to respond. I've got to respond right now, or I have to do this right now. And so I've really tried to separate that. And then yeah, she was in my office and she's, wow, 9:45. I have mine go on at 6 p.m. I'm like, I couldn't do that.
I don't know if I
could
do
that.
But
I admire that like break. I think that's super cool to be able to do. But yeah, I've really tried to, I don't like working from home because I realize that when I work from home, I don't stop working. I like the idea of going to the office and having a leaving time and trying to, I mean, if I don't get my stuff done, then, you know, I have to hold myself to it and I have to do it later, which I'll do it. But that's something I definitely had to learn, is how to balance it. And it can be really hard still, but that's something I've been working on. And so I think it's something I feel like it's something you just, I'm always going to be working on. Like, I'm never going to be perfect.
When it's your company, it's your baby.
Yeah, it's different. The perspective is totally different. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast with Misty too is I feel like entrepreneurship online is so glamorized, and I'm like, what are these people doing? Because it is not like it appears to be on the internet, and I wish people would put a more realistic approach.
I feel like people are scared to put
to what
the
it's
truth
like
out there.
Because it's okay, by the way, to work for someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you truly want a job where it's like, okay, to work and then I'm done working, that would, some days I'm like, sign me up. Where can I go to get one of those jobs? Some days I'm just like, this is too freaking much. But yeah, I just was like, someone has to be out here telling the real stories.
Yeah. I don't feel like a lot of people, they always put glamour on it.
So glamorized, I feel, online. And it's not saying that there definitely are great parts about it.
Yeah.
But it's a struggle.
Yeah.
The rent's due every day. Every day
Whether
is
you make money or not.
Yes, every day it's, I don't know, it just doesn't stop. Literally does not stop.
No. I know when I went to Rogers, I was gone from the family for 6 weeks, and Brad had to take care of the kids, and they were all like, Mom, when are you coming home? When are you coming home? I'm like, I swear I'm coming.
I was supposed to be at a business trip this week.
Did it get canceled?
I canceled it. It's crazy. I emailed one of my customers that I was going to see, and I was like, hey, where exactly do we need to go tomorrow, and is there anything we need to say when we get there? Because they were having this event. And he just emailed me back. He was like, I am so sorry, but we decided to cancel the event because it, like, something with a scheduling. And I was like, oh, okay. And it's not a big deal. Truly, it's not. Like, things happen and I get it. But then I'm like, okay, then I have so much going on, and then I'm like, I could go and still go to the show, but I'm not gonna go. I'm just gonna cancel it. And Adam was like, yay. I know. I don't know why. He was, for some reason, was not keen on me leaving this week. But I don't know. And that's another thing. Like, I'm gone a lot. Like, I've been gone a week out of every month for the last many months that I can remember. However, many there have been. But I know.
Yeah, you have been traveling a lot. Let's see. Okay, especially with the market that you're in, with the aviation and stuff like that, as a female entrepreneur, have you faced any gender-specific challenges?
I have literally faced so many gender-specific challenges in my career. I remember vividly when I went, this isn't a challenge. I want to set the tone for the industries that I work a lot in, and was like, did you just hire her because she's pretty, or does she actually know what she's doing? I think people don't realize like how some of these industries are still so male dominated, which is fine. I love like being in a male conference room and making them all listen to me for 30 minutes or whatever it is. But I've definitely faced challenges for sure. But I've also realized people's are so just like almost groomed toward it that they don't even realize what they're doing. So I try to like always give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but it's definitely harder for me to get specific jobs or get pitches. It seems like if I'm up against a male like competitor, if you will, it seems like a lot of the times I'm the second choice and not the first choice, which is fine because I feel like a lot of times the first choice doesn't work out and then they're right back to me. But I've definitely lost potential contracts over it. I'm just not taken as seriously, but I know as much as anyone else. And so it can be very frustrating. I remember I was out in California last year, and it was like this super cool project with such an awesome customer. They're great people. And we were flying, and I was talking about aviation, and this guy's, wow, like you really know a lot. And I was like, I really do, but I know just like in his mind, he thought I didn't really know much. And probably because I'm a female, but he was impressed. And I'm like, I've been working in this industry for 6 years. I've learned a lot. So it's just interesting, but I do feel like that's moving in a positive direction. But just recently, I feel like I was totally just blown off by somebody, whether they thought I was too young or they didn't think I had the money, or they just not even giving me the time of day for trying to buy something, different things like that. But then I feel like I like to find females to work with a lot, because I don't know, it just always goes smoother for me.
Yeah, we have common ground.
Yeah,
in a way.
I don't know. And I know that I can be taken seriously, so.
I love it. I love that you're messing stuff up for the guys out there. No offense, guys.
That's right.
She's smart. She's coming for you. Okay, what about future plans or goals? Do you have any of those for the business? Do you have any?
I don't know. I think about this. I definitely have goals as far as revenue goes. I think like any other business, part of me is, I want to grow this company to XYZ and then I'm going to sell it. And then part of me is, no, I'm not.
No,
you know what I mean? So then I don't know. I definitely want to invest in other things. I want to be a little bit more diversified. So I don't really know what that might look like at this second, but those are some like, maybe not goals in this business, but I've always,
just as a woman entrepreneur,
I've always wanted to grow and employ more people. I think it's really cool to give people jobs.
I think that's one of my favorite
and
aspects.
opportunities. And I do a lot of stuff locally. I'm on the board of MoCan Economic Development, trying to figure out how we can bring bigger businesses here, bring different labor pools, things like that. Because the challenge we have here is, especially for my company, is finding the talent that I need to hire locally can be really tough. And I'm actually hiring right now, so if anyone
plug right there.
If anyone's listening that knows anything about marketing, call me.
Give me a call.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Do you have anything
No.
that we didn't cover?
Not that I can think of.
I know, it's like,
I feel like I've talked about everything that I can think of.
Yeah. That's it for us today.
But if you have any
guys.
more questions for me, I might answer them. I might not, but leave them in the comments. Anyway.
I need some good questions
I'll think
for her.
about it. My husband was like, I told me we were doing this last minute. And he was like, because he's very private, does not like to share anything. And he was like, don't say anything too personal. And I was like, can you give me an example? And he's no. And I was like, okay. I don't know. I can't read your mind. So here we are.
That leaves it wide open.
Yeah, wildly up to interpretation. No, I'm just kidding.
So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments for Fallon. She'll answer them. Even if she doesn't like the question, she'll answer them.
And then after this episode, we're going to start our series about franchising.
Yes.
So if you are interested in how that all works, and we're going to tell you. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.